my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody just calm down!
Help!
Here. Oh, take my hand. Ah, come on. You're gonna fall unless you take my hand.
No, give me your other hand.
Oh, my other hand isn't strong enough. You take my little hand.
No, get it away from me.
Take it. Take my hand.
I am a maverick. I am a savage. I am a legend. I am a madman. You never know what I'm going to do next. I am a mad lad.
I want to say I'm really glad Michael Bancroft is here. I mean this. I feel like, look, I'm an admirer of yours. I like what you've done. You've carved out a path for yourself. I want to be better friends. That's what I want to say to you. Rob, the Replicator, I didn't even know you were here. But welcome, my friend. You are an awesome artist, and we're happy to have you here. Wait, are you an artist?
Writer.
Right.
He is a good artist.
Okay. Your books look great. Cheers, everyone. And
Thank you, Ethan.
Never ceases to get a smile.
No, it's quality. I love it. What are we doing, Mike?
Did you see my hair in that clip?
No, I saw mine. I'm like, that looks fucking awesome, though. Let's bring that back.
Yeah, he had like a point on it.
I know.
At the front, and it was, yeah. You've been slacking lately.
Dude, I'm a shell of my former self.
Comics are wearing you down.
Always. What's with the Mad Lads video thing?
I know, I just like it. I just like the whole thing. I remember when it happened. It was like years ago now. I was actually watching PewDiePie when that was all happening. And it was your boy Zach and his hot takes. No, it wasn't his hot takes. It was his $1 comic. And I was like, what a mad lad. So I like, okay, I'm going to put that in because he's a mad lad. And I don't know. I like it. It just puts me in a good mood.
Like the she shanty, the sea shanty.
Yes, like the she shanty, Rob.
So hard to say.
Let's say hello to people in the chat, and then we will jump into whatever the hell we're doing tonight.
Sweet.
We got D-Wag in the house. We have the Voyager. D's here. He says D-Wag wrote first wrong, even though we don't do that on this show. But he said there are rules. You know what I like to play when someone points out there are rules? It's your favorite video.
I may be down, but I'm not out. Tom Brady's never out. You broke the rules. You broke the rules. You breaking the rules. You broke the rules. You broke the rules. How you found out I broke the rules? Yeah, you broke the rules. I'm commissioner. I can break the rules because you guys broke the rules before. But I didn't bust you enough. Just because you didn't bust us enough for breaking the rules, that doesn't mean you can break the rules busting us now. Both of you guys, I can do whatever I want. I'm breaking the rules. You, I'm Tom Brady. You, I'm the commissioner. I'll make up new rules. You guys, yours rules.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
long day, Mike.
Love it.
Long day.
What's that?
It's been a long day. Been a long day.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. The ruse. We got Raiden Radio here. He thinks it should be Replicator because we're Aussie. Doesn't work like that. SDA's here. Who else? Did I say Athaline? I have now. Maromi. We got Jeremy Burt's in the house. Who else? Roy. Micra. I see Schneely. I see Maybe Human. And Skip Edwards. Did we invite Skip? He didn't turn up yet last time. We'll see. We'll see what he says. Who else we got in here? Ralph Mack, Pork, Hunt.
And
and Michael Ditcher. Wait, Rob's not an artist? No, he's not. KSS says, I can send VIP super chats now, but I have to pay. That's not a very important feeling. I don't know what the VIP super chat is. Is that a super chat if you're a member? I don't know what it is. I haven't been able to find it.
I'm a member now.
You're a member of this chat?
For 1 month.
Lord
we'll see what happens after that.
Lord help us. Did you
I
check out the...
You missed Micra's great comment there, Bancroft, just above.
Did I?
Above,
Hold
yeah,
on a sec.
I mean, clearly.
Micra. Not going to lie, that Ethan clip was when I started to like Rob a bit. After all the drama, a creator who didn't spurg out over an insult was good to see. I mean, yeah, 99.9% of Aussies are like us, I think.
That's like someone saying, "How are you?" in Australian.
I know.
Like, yeah, we go.
I would have
worse
called.
than that, man.
I would have called Rob like a "see you next Tuesday" had I said that. It'd been in a loving, fun way.
Yeah. Dude, people spurg out over the stupidest things. Some people need to grow some like a backbone.
Spurgs. Spurging it every day. Did I say hello to D already? I feel like I did, but I'm going to do it again because D is my rock lately.
He's your spirit animal.
It's my spirit animal. I know maybe that's Pork Hunt because he's a pig.
What? Why bother?
Bush pig.
Why bother pausing Bancroft? It doesn't matter. Just say it the way it's meant to be said. You know.
No.
Don't shy away
this
from
is a family show. They could be. I said we're going to be coloring in Goliath from Replicator. I guess. I mean, I've read all the Replicators. I haven't seen him in any of them, so I'm assuming he is from Replicator. But proof is forthcoming. Sumo Thori's here. Geek Hazu's here. Sheev McQueen's here. Compop. Now that sounds rude. Alyssa McRilla. Check that out. Alyssa McRilla. Why did John leave Camel Knights?
He doesn't like Bancroft.
Yeah, so he doesn't like me, he doesn't like Camel, or he doesn't like Chokeout. It's one of the three.
Camel, this is getting painful to say. Camel's he's actually a good person to have on a show because he's funny.
Yeah.
And he can
laugh.
He's actually somewhat intelligent, so you can have a conversation and he can make points, or he can be a fool. I mean, he's got it all. He can play the whole thing.
Hang on, we got it in all caps now. To answer your question, nobody knows for real, and that's legitimate. Nobody knows why John left. He just did. He just didn't want to do it anymore, and that's it. None of us get paid. The only person getting paid for Camel Knights is Camel Moon. So, you know, I don't. Doesn't come as a surprise to me that he left. I think my thinking is maybe he just wanted to be free, a free agent, because he's doing the Jack show, and he's got other things going on. Maybe he didn't want to have two shows that he's already locked in on. He can just cause he jumps around from Ballers. He does his own show.
I mean, people are giving you answers in the chat.
I get it.
John said before that once he feels like he has to show up for it, it's like a job. He starts to hate it.
That would make sense. That would make sense.
There's another one here. And John said it was about wanting his time and a chance to make money on his channel. That's the thing.
That's true.
John doesn't need Camel Knights.
He's been streaming regularly on his channel. That's true. There you go. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like we always were like, I can't believe Malin is hanging out on this
Why is he
show.
hanging out here?
So yeah, I don't think it was. It didn't come as a shock or a surprise. We had a little bit of a hit when he left, but I think we've crawled all the way back and gained some more. But yeah, John's doing well on his channel. He gets a massive crowds
It's like
there
400,
now.
500, 600 people for his shows now. So it doesn't need to do anything else. He doesn't want to.
Yeah. He says he goes to the ballers often. Yeah, sometimes he does. This is the thing, but he's not like that's exactly the thing. He's not a regular on the ballers. He's not locked into the ballers. No one's going to yell at him if he doesn't go there like that. And when I say no one, I mean the chat. You know, I understand it. What are we doing tonight, Rob?
Coloring
Why?
some Goliath. Dude, I haven't been happy with this color scheme since I got it done. So I want to get your take on it, what you think I should do with it. It's a tough one. This is Shelby's piece. I don't know if he knows we're going to be coloring it, but that's what happened. That is
I've never
happening.
I've never colored Shelby before.
Like, how ridiculous is this art? Man?
Oh, I was doing the flatting earlier, just getting a little bit of preparation done.
It's beautiful.
And I was like, this art is amazing.
Yeah, it's top level.
Yeah. So hang on, let me turn off where is it? Oh, I won't turn it off, just so you can all appreciate the line art.
It's funny, Bancroft.
Beautiful.
You know how people always they'll compare your characters to other characters they know because that's what they do. Like they try and find that, oh, it looks like that, and they can relate to it. Can you guess what people were saying this character looked like? Because I'd never thought of it when they said it. I'm like, I do not see that at all. I can see like Hulk. I could see like the Thing. I could see like Doomsday. I can see those things. But what they said, never thought about it once.
Yeah, that's pretty much who I was thinking. Who was it? Who were you? Who was
Venom?
Venom.
Yeah.
Venom has claws, but maybe it's the teeth. But I would even say this guy's teeth is proportional to his face. Like his lips are being pulled up. Venom's mouth is like massive.
Huge eyes. It's kind of like, yeah, he looks like Venom if he's got like a different teeth, different eyes, different head, different body. Then, yeah, I get it. But
all right, so this is it.
This
is what you haven't been happy with.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
what are you unhappy about?
I don't know. Just it's
like is it his skin color? Because I don't know what else you could really color the guns and stuff as.
No, I love the guns. I love the chrome on the guns. I think they look sick. But just the body color is not working for me. I don't know what else we could do. I mean, if chat have any suggestions, feel free to chuck them in.
We can.
God, look how good Shelby is at art. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, he was drawing. He was inking. Sorry. He was inking Dalkione today. It was pretty impressive, I have to say. He was looking pretty good. I asked him if he could just draw in a little Ella somewhere. He didn't answer me.
Okay, says if I squint my eyes so that they're closed and I think of Venom, then yes, he looks like Venom. Burnt orange, hot pink, brown, purple.
Brown? Gonna make it brown? All right. Well, I'm just gonna. I haven't finished the flatting yet. I only got so far. During my lunch hour, I didn't spend the whole hour doing it, but whatevs. So I guess I'm just gonna have to sort of figure out, what Shelby's doing here. If I can. Hang on, hold on a sec. My Photoshop is being a little bit slow. All right.
I guess what would
Oh,
really
we got Mo
work,
Biggs here. How Mo Biggs?
What would really work with the guns, like the chrome gun color? Like what would really add to it? gold or yellow on the veins. Dr. Manhattan blue. I'm interested to see what Bancroft thinks, because what would you do with it, Bancroft?
I don't make these decisions lightly.
Oof.
I'll just what's going on? Oh, wrong layer.
Antoine's announced.
If
you take the existing colors and invert them in Photoshop, you'll be able to see if warmer reds work for the character.
Look, the way I like to do it is thus. Hold on a sec. Let me darken him up a bit. Here, we can actually just start doing this. Like, let's make him. Don't go darker. Let's just make him
red.
Blood red. Nah. Let's just make him like a beige color for the moment, so that I can see what I'm doing here. Because we're gonna get in here, and I'm gonna try and figure out what's what and where's what. So he's got sort of metallic fixtures on his face.
Mm-hmm.
What are these, Rob?
Cool jaw things.
You really thought about it, the whole,
yeah, like
and everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got such a high pain threshold that they just put things on him to increase his survivability. So they'll weld things directly to his like body and face to make him more survivable. And this is like the first iteration. His
durability.
Of it. Yeah.
Was he once a human?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty jacked up human. Was he? Did he used to be a bodybuilder, or is this like?
No, he's just a normal dude, man.
Just a normal. So he's like the Hulk, then, I suppose.
Yeah. But I mean, there's no turning back his form into a normal person. Like, this is it now. He's locked in. Rust colored.
Darkening up a bit. Still got that Mad Lad song in my head.
This is definitely a one-off, mate. Definitely a one-off.
What is?
Mo says, is this a one-off, or did Rob rope Bancroft into coloring his book?
No. This is just Rob puts in a lot of work on this channel, so let's pay him back.
Damn.
With a little bit of promotion. A little bit of, replica, because we started out this stream coloring Replicator, if you recall.
I do. It was great.
So we're sort of back on it.
This is one of my favorite streams of the week, actually.
Yeah, it's very relaxed. Like,
it
I
is.
don't really care about putting on a show or anything.
Yeah, and we don't have to have like topics to talk about. Like, we can just talk about the art, or we can just talk about what pops into our head.
It's just people come in and start asking why Malin left Camel Knights, It's a mystery. All right. Now, I think that just cuts. It looks like it just sort of cuts across.
Mo says, so it's an Adam and Eve type situation. Toss Rob a little ribeye every now and then. Toss Rob a little rib every now and then?
Yeah. Yeah, to keep him happy.
That
makes sense. Yeah,
Clayton did such an incredible job with this character design, though. I've said this before. I think Clayton is right up there in terms of character designers for me. I think he's, apart from Roquefort, he's the best in my mind.
Yeah, what did you think of the Roquefort covers on the?
Absolutely ridiculous, man.
Like, pretty good, huh?
Ridiculous. His style seems like perfectly suited for Cyberfrog too. Like, it translates so well.
I'm gonna grab the when I get around to it. I still owe you money.
You do.
I'm going to grab the $100 thing. It's the subscription, so you get all the new stuff that you wouldn't have gotten on the first campaign, plus sounds like it's going to be the Kelsey Shannon variant, 24-hour variant. So
Nice.
But Ethan usually keeps his things going a while. No rush for me.
Nolan says dark red fading into black hands and feet. Dude, I'm open for any ideas, honestly. I think it's one of
that's
those
a good
things...
idea, actually. Like, we don't need to have him all be the same color.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
I think it's one of those things like you won't know what the perfect answer is until you see it, type thing.
That's why I never really worry at this stage. It's just like, get it in.
Micro says, is there anything his style, I'd say he means, isn't perfect for? Legit question. For Roquefort, I assume you're talking about? I don't know, man. I think
imagine Roquefort would be a very versatile artist if he wanted to be. Even like a children's book or something, I'm sure it'd be fine.
He'd do an incredible children's book, dude. They wouldn't appreciate it, though, those little kids.
Nah,
they can't have it.
Little shits.
I know. Don't waste good art on them. Wait till they get older and they can appreciate it a bit more.
All right, so he's got a face. This thing's metal too. Okay.
Yeah.
We're figuring it out.
Yeah.
Crap. There we go. Yeah, I'm not going to get this done tonight. You guys know how slow I am on a stream.
I don't know. You could.
Nah, I won't, Rob. But I don't mind. I don't mind taking a little break from everything I'm doing to to do something like this and help promote Replicator.
That's metal
for a little
too.
bit. I know. I'm just going to make a slightly different color so I don't have to select it later. Corey. Minimum lasso usage, You're spending your whole time lassoing things.
This must be like pretty relaxing for you too, as opposed to doing your
this
own
is like
work.
brain dead stuff.
Yeah. We've got 80 people in here, guys. You can hit subscribe and like if you haven't already. That would be awesome.
I know that's that. I like the idea of him having a bit more of a organic skin texture. It doesn't all have to be one thing. Bit more alien-like.
John asks, Mel B, anything fun for dinner tonight?
Mel asked me what's for dinner. I was like, I don't know.
Bancroft's like, I haven't cooked in 20 years. I've got no idea.
Yeah. Come on, Mel. Get creative.
Mel's a good cook, I hear, Bancroft.
Mel's a great cook. Wasted on this household.
Oh,
utterly
really?
Wasted.
Yeah. Your kids are like, Mel's like, what do you want for dinner? Chicken nuggets.
We only just got Clark to eat chicken for the first time yesterday in 4 years.
Wow.
He's, for all intents and purposes, been a vegetarian child for 4 years. He just refused to eat meat. He's just like, I hate it. But he would refuse to even try it. So we gave him this delicious roast chicken. And he was like, I like that. And now he's eating it. So
my doctor was like, you should consider going vegan. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Why?
Oh, just to help with back pain and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, nah, I'm all right. This is looking good already, though.
Isn't he supposed to have a gun on both arms?
He is, yeah. Not here, though.
Not here.
No.
Shelby was like, one's enough.
He doesn't have guns on either arm, Mike.
Yeah, he's got the one over here. It's just sort of hidden. Like this to me is part of a gun.
No, it's not.
What is it?
I don't know. It's not part of a gun though.
But it's in the right place.
He doesn't have the guns yet, Mike. He doesn't have them.
Well, what is this then?
I don't know. A little doodad.
A little doodad? Do I make it metal or do I not?
Sure.
I mean, it's clearly not organic.
Sure.
All right. I don't know what it is.
Sheep McQueen says, add misery to your pain, rubs doctor.
Yeah, right? That's the thing. Like, I started not having food before 12.
Yeah.
And I can do that. It's not hard. It's the it's something I can do long term. But if like those things are like cutting out friggin', I don't know, sugar or whatever, it's like I could do it for a week and then I give up. So a sec.
Door hinge. It does look like a door hinge, and that would make sense.
Yeah, it does look a little. Oh yeah. All right. It's part of this. You are right. Good eye. Okay, I'll get rid of that. So I'll just put it the same as this color. We're not really. See, I couldn't see that. Couldn't see it. And if Shelby was here, he would have told us.
Dude, I mean, we invited him. He's probably sleeping.
Yeah, he was inking a lot. All right, cool.
Like, I do think, like, if we didn't go with chrome, which, you know, I don't want to not go chrome because I think it looks cool, but like a rusted metal would look pretty sweet too. Well,
you can do that as well. Like, you can have him be, I don't know, chrome doesn't really rust, I don't think, but who cares? Like, at a later date, you can have, like, his, like, rusted up and he needs cleaning. You could do a version like that. I don't think that's too big of a deal.
Patina.
Yeah.
Rusted chrome. Everyone's talking about food now.
Oh, it's our fault.
Yeah. Yeah. You could have the chrome chip off after time with fighting. Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, I'm gonna just gonna start doing some things here.
I can't imagine Shelby going to the gym. Doesn't seem like a gym going kind of guy. Perhaps give him a look where it appears that there's an internal heat source, like a nuclear furnace. Yeah, we tried. If you see the cracks all over his body, Clayton tried an effect where it looked like they were like glowing. It was all right. It's just it didn't really work. I'll see if I can find it though. It's been a long time since I've been to a gym. Do you go to a gym, Mike?
No. What does it look like? I go to a gym?
No, I mean, must have at some point though.
Nah, I never went to a gym. I used to just I'm like a cheap ass. I like work out by myself.
I'll show you. So this is Clayton did this for me really quickly, right? So he was just trying a different kind of thing. You guys in chat can tell me if you like it or not.
That could actually be something. I mean, I don't like the color palette, but
Yeah.
We could do something with that. I've made him more Venom-like with this color scheme.
You really have, yeah. And because like the metal's gray, it looks like his white face kind of a little bit.
Yeah, I won't keep it like that.
Different. This is Doom Cyber Demon. That's the thing. Like you can create a character and you think it can be totally original and no one's ever made it before, but you'll find so many examples of things that look similar to what you've made. Happens all the time.
There are 3 characters on the Rippaverse.
Yeah.
Like a guy, and then there's a woman, and then there's another guy with a helmet on. And someone legitimately was like, I see you're copying characters. And he put up the 3, like General Zod from Superman 2.
Mm.
And it was just like, what? It was the funniest shit I've ever seen. The guy's like, you copied these characters. Nothing the same. Nothing. Just like the fact that there's 2 men and 1 woman. Yeah. I mean, like I showed off Ella in her hat and everyone was like, it's Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah.
It's like, it's fine. Actually, no, Camel said I stole his character. So, whatever. I just want to finish my tea while it's still warm.
Sure. Sure, the chat are loving that.
All right. Let's lighten him up a bit, change him a bit.
Yeah, so I mean, I definitely don't want to do green.
You don't want to do this?
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
It's something.
To be fair, that is something.
You don't want that? The Hulk?
No. I mean, I don't mind people making comparisons to this character or that character, but I don't want them to be like comparisons to the Hulk or the Thing. That's what I want to avoid.
All right. Well, it doesn't really matter at this point anyway, so.
Ethan stole the frog from the Ninja Turtles. Did he?
There's a frog in the Ninja Turtles.
It is the Hulk. Yeah, it is when it's green. I don't know. I don't think I liked Ninja Turtles as much as everyone else did.
That doesn't surprise me. You have no taste.
Give me Transformers every day of the week over Ninja Turtles.
Well, I'll just leave that with you. That's your thing.
Mm-hmm. In the Ninja Turtles, there are 4 frogs from Florida.
I remember there was an alligator. I don't remember any frogs.
Make him the colors of Spawn. Turtles were too silly for you. Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude.
Well, I mean, I was 8. You know?
Biker mice from Mars. Yeah, man, that takes you back, doesn't it?
I think I've forgotten that. Kind of glad Shelby's not in here actually, like yelling at me for doing it all wrong. Because Shelby is like a super accomplished artist, so I don't need that kind of pressure.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that can do all of it, everything. Samurai Pizza Cats. Oh my god, that was a crazy show. Did you ever watch
Yeah,
that,
that was
Mike?
pretty loony. Yeah, it was pretty. It was like full on Japanese, wasn't it? Or Korean or something. I don't know.
Mo says Rob didn't like the Ninja Turtles because their names were difficult for him to pronounce. It's true. So what are you doing, Mike? You're just darkening areas?
Just laying on some shadow, like roughly, you know, not really super precise or anything like that. It's just sort of a softish layer. I learnt this from Corey. I picked this up from Corey, actually.
Wow. You learned something from Corey.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, because like my whole coloring style with the Lucent, especially on the interiors, is designed for you know, maximum impact, minimum, like most expedited, you know. So
getting the most out of your time.
Exactly. Whereas Corey is all about, you know, just
perfection,
like going the whole way. Everything's rendered to the nth degree and everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, but you know, I was just sort of like picked up some. I think I improved a lot on what Corey had because, you know, I introduced masks to it and other kind of non-destructive elements. But yeah, no, like I think for this piece, for the CG Vacation piece, for the John Malin piece, I just a bit more shadows and stuff like that.
Joe Ball, killing it with Death on Indiegogo, says Shelby literally knows everything about comics. It's insane.
Everything and everyone. Like, it's crazy. Right.
Yeah, Alyssa says, thanks, Rob and Mike, for reading my chats. John Malin was practically ignoring me. It depends on the show that you go to. If there's 400 or 500 people in it, your chats are going to get missed.
And John's not really big on reading chats all that much. That's true.
He's more like a, you know, talk to the other people on the panel kind of person.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
All right. And I'm still sort of like figuring this out too. You know, I'm not like super confident in all this. So.
Yeah, John likes to drink. Remember when John didn't drink? Like,
yeah, he was just like, I don't drink.
Long. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a drink yesterday on a stream. I had one shot of tequila, but it was actually a pretty big glass, and I really felt it, like proper. And as I was sitting there afterwards, just going, that was an interesting.
Malin.
He says, I read too many of Alyssa's chat. She seems very interested in why you no longer appear on Camel Nights, John. Very interesting.
Yeah, you have to explain yourself, John.
As best as I could recall.
We basically said you hated Mike. That's what we went with.
Just like hostile working environment. You know, like what do they always say? Creative. What is it? Differences. Creative differences. Yeah. I'm gonna try and emulate a little bit of what Clayton's done here and see. I don't know. I'm not like the best at rendering metals and stuff, but I'll give it a go. We'll see how we go. Let's start with his face. How about that? This is the mask that I just did there. Does that look awesome?
You would never be able to tell what that was for, like if you didn't know.
That's the shadows. So everything that's
Yeah.
light on the mask is dark. And why I like to, oh, hold on a sec. Why did I do that? Hang on. And why I like using masks is then I can, it's really easy to go in later and just like, you know, take it down or take it up and all that sort of stuff. I can change the color of the shadow really easily. Which is very subtle, but you can go here. Can you see that? Hang on, let me zoom in. You really see it better. See how they change? See how the color of the actual shadow is changing? You see that?
Not really, man, but it's a bit laggy, I think.
Anyway, doesn't matter. Just for anyone who cares.
Metallica does not suck in the slightest.
I like Metallica. I saw Metallica live.
Really?
Pretty good. Why do you say it like that?
I don't expect you to like anything good, so that's why I say it like that.
What are you talking about? I love everything good.
You don't like Transformers?
Well, like I said, I like everything good. Hold on a sec. Mel's messaging me. Oh,
probably hate Fulton too.
I've been. See, Rob, you don't see these things because you don't have the pop-up chat up.
Oh, I'll bring it up.
D has gifted, my boy D, my man D, my mate D has gifted another 5 memberships. Thank you, D. Welcome, Jaro. It's me, Jose, Crazy Mad, Judd Goswick, and Eric the Guapo. I thought Eric was already gifted a membership. He's double dipping. That's awesome. Thank you so much, D. That is great.
I'm really enjoying my free membership that I received from Jim Cox the other day.
Yes, Jim did.
After you've taken away my wrench, Bancroft, and you won't give it back, I'm not happy.
Why? Why do you want it back, Rob? Like, what's the...
Because it's the principle of it. I had something, and you've taken that thing away from me.
Yeah, but Rob, come on.
You don't read my chats anymore. You don't...
Because you never
ignore me because you don't read my chats anymore. I mean, it's a vicious circle, Mike, that keeps going round and round.
Vicious cycle, Rob. What circle? I haven't actually done this sort of brush technique since the replicator, so forgive me if I'm a little rusty. I keep pressing the wrong thing.
I made you a mod on my channel, Mike. It's just unbelievable. The double standards are just out of control.
What is it? A quid pro quo? What are you, Hannibal Lecter?
Yeah.
Come on.
Mo says, I've been so patient about not timing out Rob just because he doesn't have a wrench, but he continues to whine and cry like typical Rob, the human basset hound.
Yeah, you do grumble a lot. It's true.
It's my nature.
Mo's got your number there.
It's my nature.
Hold on a sec. Lucky Mel is in the chat, like letting me know what's going on in my chat while I work. Oh, now I can't even open my phone. Why is it not recognizing my face?
Because
Skip wants to come in. Skip wants to come in. I'm going to send Skip the link.
Do you want me to do it?
No, I'll do it. I wouldn't want to make you do any work.
Unbelievable.
It's been a while since we've had Chad Skip on the channel. My goodness. All right. Skip has the link. He sent me a photo with technical difficulties. His like headphones are busted. Let's see what goes on. See what happens there. All right, let's keep going with this. This fella. So is there anything else you can tell us about Goliath?
Yeah, he's awesome.
Hail Shane Davis. I was hanging out with Shane earlier today.
I like the concept of like Hulk characters and Thing characters, like big characters, but I'm sick of the whole like let's just smash things with our hands. So I just wanted to do a different take on it.
So you're like, let's just shoot things with guns instead.
Let's get the biggest effing guns we can possibly get and just wield them directly onto this guy and just see how much chaos he can cause. That's why I like Goliath so much. He's sick.
Alyssa, hold on a sec. Alyssa wants to know what my email address is. I don't know why, but I feel like I want to give it out.
Big dick energy characters.
All for it.
Michael and Rob.
When are we going to see him?
Cool email.
I'm putting my email in the. My email is public, so I mean I've got that email for this purpose. Yeah, Big Dick Energy, great, fantastic. When are we going to see him? You know what I'm saying?
Soon, mate. Soon. Probably issue 5. Probably issue 5.
I find that funny, everyone, because the next issue is issue 4. Just throwing that out there.
Shane wants a link.
Yeah, Shane can jump on, of course.
All right,
this party started.
It's been a minute since I've messaged Shane. Let me find him.
Shane, if Shane comes on and Skip Edwards come on, it'll be a family reunion because I think it was Skip who initially sent Shane the link to come on my stream for the very first time. I'm pretty sure that's right.
Well,
I think I'm going to get a bit more.
If I'm sending Shane the link, I'm sending Malin the link.
Yeah, it's all good. I've got to get a bit more hard lined with this Chrome, because that's what Chrome is like. Like you can do a soft edge on the inside, but you also have to have. That's what I noticed. Like I look a lot at what Kyle does. Shane will probably have some good insight on that as well. I don't know if he has Chrome on his Rexes, but that's what I think all this is. Pretty sure.
I want you exposed, Alyssa. John wants us to send Alyssa the link.
I don't know about that, John. I don't know if we're going to do that tonight.
Apparently, we should be inviting everyone. Rini, EVS.
Oh, my God. Hang on. Skip asks, is John going? Why Skip? Is that a problem? If John comes on? This is exactly why I don't do streams with lots of people on anymore. People have beefs with other people.
Shane's in the house. What's up?
What's going on?
Shane, who do you hate?
Like, do I get to pick between people, or like, is it like just in general? Who do I hate?
Just in general, because it's like we don't want to have drama, because people seem to be coming on the show. That's all I'm saying. Nah, it's all good. So I'm just joking around.
You know what? It's not who I hate. It's I've seen somebody's, thanks to Ethan, I looked up somebody I've been on stream with their boobs, and now it's awkward.
I wonder who that could possibly be.
There's not many people with boobs.
It's a small number of people.
Yeah.
Well, no, we say that. I mean, it could be man boobs.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. Then it's like there's a cornucopia of people. It's like who doesn't have man boobs in CG?
That's when the feelings get weird. The man boobs. Oh my God, I know my wife's tits.
Was that a comment in the chat? Or
yeah.
Shane doesn't show his stuff on stream, and I don't blame him.
I'm doing production artwork right now. I'm not drawing exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. As long as you're drawing.
No, I'm not. I'm getting.
Oh, like as long as you're working. Sorry.
Yeah,
this
I'm working.
Working stream.
Oh
This is
yeah.
when we just relax. And
What is this?
this is Goliath, allegedly a character from Replicator that we haven't seen yet.
That's awesome.
This is Shelby Robertson's phenomenal artwork, and we're just sort of coloring it just for shits and gigs.
So
trying to
Shelby
figure out-
magically drew this out of nowhere, just manifested.
No. He's existed before. So like, there's a character sheet of him that he based it on. And Rob, is he drawing a? Is he doing a little?
He's meant to be.
Ash
He's
can
meant to
or
be.
something.
Yeah, I think I'm at the bottom of the totem pole, so
Yeah,
you'll get to it.
but
I think he just
Yeah,
he did something for you, didn't he, Shane?
Yeah. I mean, he had like a year to do it though. Like, I mean, but he came through. I gave him quite a bit of time, but he came through. So it's in lettering stages. Well, now I have a first draft of letters, and then
do we know
it's
what
going
it?
off to
Are we allowed to
production.
say what it is, or is it top secret?
I mean, I could probably pull up some pages. It's Glorious Rex supplemental.
Hell yeah!
Let me see.
I
It's
love
weird
Shane,
because
though.
Shelby almost drew. I wouldn't say drew better than me, but he drew a character that I'm drawing, and I'm like, you son of a bitch.
All right, Shelby's a beast.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like, you almost made him look cooler than I would. You know how art's subjective, right? So it's like somebody's gonna say, "Hey, Shelby drew that character cooler than you, Shane." I'll be like, "What are you gonna do?"
Yeah, I don't care. Most people draw stuff better than me, so.
Great art, mediocre name. All right, you give me a better name. I'll listen.
Oh no, he's Goliath, Rob. Don't hang on. No, we
I'm
can
not going to
listen
change.
to.
I just want to hear the names. Just want to hear the names.
Does he
But
get his
you're not
ass
gonna-
kicked by David? I'm just curious.
That's true. Like a
Kinda
smaller
writes
guy.
itself.
Maybe that's like part of the story.
Kind of
Maybe
writes
it's
itself,
awesome.
Rob. Like you
It kind
ripped
of
it
does,
off from
doesn't
the
it?
Bible. You know what I mean?
Where's Malin? Is Malin coming in here? I know he's streamed for like
He's
6
just
hours
fighting
already
with
today.
Melissa.
I don't think Malin streamed enough. That's the problem.
6 hours not enough.
No.
What color scheme would you go, Shane, for this character? I'll give you
It
the
depends
choice.
on what characters he's up against later.
Oh, that's a professional's answer, Rob.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even think of that.
No. No.
I didn't even think of that. That's a proper considerations.
Call him Abraham Bone.
All right. Here, I'll share a show.
Working in yeah, you can come work in here, John. You don't have to.
He just finished a
You know what
6
John
hour
needs to work on?
stream.
You know what
And he
John
would-
needs to work on? John needs to work on his attitude. I mean, that's let's really get down to it. Since he won't come in here, the snobbery. He's got things to do. He's washing his hair. I can't be on the stream with a bunch of cool guys. I'm John Malin.
Yeah, he's got an image to keep up.
Chris Stanley said, now John's going to come in here. I can hear his little feet.
Billy. GOLIATH. That's not a very nice one.
It's Germanic.
Name him Bob.
Bob.
Here, I've shared this page before, so it's not exactly new.
Oh, wicked. Who's coloring it?
The same guy coloring the main book, so it's pretty uniform.
Cool.
Oh yeah, I saw this. You shared this page the other day.
I like this.
Yeah, very cool.
Why waste our time chewing up a new Rex in front of a crowd? Don't bullshit me. What's up here? And then Little T. This is my favorite character. My Blidget, my black midget.
Mm-hmm.
Very famous character. He goes, I'll tell you what's not up. That's morale. Let's be honest. The crowd likes Mace. To fight the champ, I need the crowd. See what I'm doing there? I'm subbing out the for duh. I need the crowd.
That's what a writer does. They create.
Yeah. You get
give
into your
each
character
a voice.
Yeah. This is why I love Shelby. He drew like a little 90s like tennis visor on him. He's indoors the whole time.
I used to wear a visor when I used to go clubbing when I was at like 18.
Rob,
I know, right?
How'd that work out for you, Rob?
Pretty good,
Rob,
dude. We
that
also
was like in the late 90s. What were you doing?
Dude, we also wore, sweatbands?
Yeah.
Like tennis players
I
would
know
wear sweatbands.
exactly who you were, Rob.
Dude, you don't understand, right? I worked at McDonald's with and there was like a really cool guy there, and everyone was like, "Oh, he's so cool." Anyway, he gave me shit about wearing sweatbands, and not a month goes by, and he apologizes because sweatbands were fucking in, Mike. They were in.
In where?
Clubbing. Wearing them around.
Get out of here.
This, the country boy made
You
good
ravers.
goes up against a Rex that looks this good, and then he goes shit, that's the stuff of legend. See, that's how you got to get into your character, I got the shit, nobody cares.
Shit.
Shane, John wants you to send Alyssa your email address.
No.
I got an email address from Alyssa. There's nothing in it.
On here you go. This is when I'm just basking in my own glory here. I'm sorry. He goes, and you better believe that's something like that sounds identical to what a black midget would say. And you better believe. You guys are not from US, I can tell.
Yeah, I must admit I've never seen a Blidget before in real life. Never heard one speak.
All right.
So,
dude,
I just have to take your word for it that this is culturally accurate, Shane.
I'm actually wondering if I need a sensitivity reader.
Probably.
So, but how do I do this? It's because he's a midget and he's black. What do I do?
Do you have to find a black midget?
Well, that's what I think. If I give it to a midget, but he's not black, so it's like I only get like half glass full scenario. I don't really know how that would affect it. So I literally have to go look for a male black midget and ask, does this offend you?
Can you get a midget and then a black person, or does it have to be combined?
That's what I'm saying. Because no. Well, what if I get a midget and he's like, nah, it's cool. Because he's making these giant monsters. So that's exactly what midgets want to do. And then I go ask a black person. And he's like, oh, fuck, this is insulting. Why? Because you made the midget black. Couldn't he be Hispanic? Why do you have to go at my people? I'll get mixed signals.
Mm-hmm. God damn, Mo. Mo says Rob is a mental midget and very sensitive. Problem is he can't read.
You're asking me, does Donnie have a little black friend? I don't think they travel together like that. I don't know if they go in packs, midget packs. That's all I got. You guys don't seem too wowed with my jive talk.
Dude, I actually like it because I find when I'm reading comics a lot, all the characters talk exactly the same. So the fact that you have someone talking really bizarrely works for me.
I'm just absorbing it, Shane.
You better believe. You better believe. Shit. You know how many black exploitation films I had to watch to write that scene?
How many?
Enough.
I don't think I've ever seen a single black exploitation. No, I'm sharing. Yeah. Good. I don't know if I've ever seen a single one.
Rob, yes. Gigaton.
Yeah.
Just cast Peter Dinklage as your midget and you'll be fine.
If I had Peter Dinklage in blackface.
Oh my god. That would be something.
Yeah. This is looking good.
If I'm not talking much, Shane, it's because I can't really work and think.
I thought it's because you didn't like me.
No, it's before I was flatting, I could actually talk. Now it's like
It's like before I didn't like you, I didn't like you.
Why wouldn't I like you, Shane? Do you remember when you came on the show for the first time when Skip Edwards sent you?
Did you have a sombrero on?
Yeah, I did.
I'm like, you know
I've got
what?
it sitting
I was
right
like,
there.
what the fuck, man? They think of anything now. There's a Mexican Australian. Oh, that's the sombrero right behind you. Wow.
Well, that's the new one. That's the inclusive one. That's rainbow. So that's for like celebrate, Mexican culture in a more inclusive way. And then I've got the Australian one over there, but I don't really want to go get it. It's not worth it. People have seen me in it.
Who's Abby Maley? Hey, Abby. She's like, Shane, I thought that was a girl. Never mind.
Might be.
Weird things happening tonight. I don't know what it is, but it's probably Malin's fault.
Yeah.
No, this Alyssa, I mean, she's got drive, you know what I mean? She's not taking no for an answer.
Is everyone rethinking their business model after Ripper's success? Asked Michael.
You know, I'm thinking about becoming popular and black on YouTube.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I started doing. I just wanted to put out a video to, shout out Ripper, make something because it's like obviously he's like the big news of the day. And so yeah, I was like, I had no time to do it. I had about half an hour. Normally, I'll like think of a video and then I'll say it and then I'll edit it down and everything. And I was like, no, just screw that. Like I talk like an idiot every day on a live stream. Let's just do that. In StreamYards, record it, get it out there. Did it in 10 minutes, just uploaded it straight away. And I was like, oh, that was really easy and quick. That's probably a good idea. So yeah, inadvertently, he has. And I've put out a video every day since. It's been like 5 in a row. So yeah, he has. But I mean, I'm like.
So I realize who Abby Maley is.
Oh,
who's Abby Maley?
She was the girl with Riley Reid that I met.
Oh my god!
If that's really her, if you click on her avatar, that is her abs.
Wow.
Do you think it's really her or just someone who grabbed a picture of her and just made an avatar?
Using her screen name also, so I don't know. Abby, is that really you? Come on, Shane, or should I say, come on me and Riley. Jesus.
God damn it. This has gone very X-rated very quickly.
I know, this is like very different to our normal draw.
But see, like, that's the thing. I mean, like, I see young Ripper running around with all them Benjamins, but he ain't got hoes chasing him like me. That's the thing.
Probably does.
Hey, if he did,
got 2.5 million in the bank.
Yeah, if he didn't before, he does now, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
I never saw him. I mean, I say this, I haven't watched like hours and hours and hours of his streams, but I never saw him talk about his wife as much as he has recently.
Is he married?
No, that's how you know when shit's on the rocks, is when a man starts really saying how much he loves his wife publicly.
No, I think he's just signaling to these gold digging hoes.
Rob kind of shook his head there for a second.
That's funny.
I never said I love my wife more than that one time she was holding bags at the door. Just leave me out on the branch, Bancroft.
I was trying to think of something witty to say, and it just didn't come. Like I said, I'm trying to figure out what to shade here. I can't do two things at once. Like, most people are used to me just coming onto these streams and not doing anything. So, you know, the fact that I'm actually doing something.
Alyssa wants to come in if you'll link her. If not, she's going to go to bed.
Good.
I'm just curious what this person's about. I'm sorry. I don't know why I get so curious about, because I know, like, we're full of trolls. Like, let's just be honest, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wonder, I'm like, well, what's up with the trolls? What do trolls look like? Are they brown? Are they green? Do they have 2 teeth? Do they have 5? You know, I just get really fucking curious.
I think you spend too much time thinking about it.
Send me the link, Alyssa says.
Oh, dude, Malin with his super chat, $1.99. Mike, you can send them the link, they can come on, then you can kick them off.
Yeah.
Nah.
You're just playing hard to get, Mike.
No, that was
we already sent out 3 links. Normally we send out 1 for these shows.
You gotta keep 1 in the chamber for Shane Davis in case he swings by.
Yeah. I keep my streams up, guys. I don't private them. I know that's the normal thing. It's like it goes off the rails. It's all right. You just private it. My streams stay up. Always.
Remy says, "Is someone sending a dick pic? I heard a camera."
Yeah.
I heard it. What was that?
Shane, I think.
Yeah, I'm taking dick pics.
There's a cat. Jesus.
Yeah, everything's going on over here. Would you believe I'm taking
What's
a picture
happening?
of a cat? Like, I mean, is that weird?
I mean, I guess it depends what time of day it is over there. Alyssa says, Michael, read your email, please.
I'll do that. All right, I'll do that.
Mo, you complain that I can't read, then expect me to read a really long comment. Just bear that in mind for next time. Rob, Bancroft is coloring this picture as a thank you for helping him on his channel. Your job is to read him my comments with your text-to-speech program so he doesn't miss them.
That is true, Rob. He has a point.
He's got to shorten them though, Mike. Like, you know, there's only so long I can read
But
for.
sometimes the jokes, that's just what they take, you know. All right, so Alyssa sent me an email saying, they are defaming me. Protect my honor. I will get Shaved Anus's email from the auction streams and will give him a piece of my mind. You could have said all of that in the chat, Alyssa. I don't know why you had to send an email for that.
I think she's baiting me. Am I supposed to send her the link to my stream because you won't? Like, what's up? Like, what is the piece of her mind?
What did you do to this? What did you guys do to this person?
What did Shane do? Is the question.
See, that's what I'm saying. This is bait. I can't believe you read that on the air. I mean, now everybody's going to wonder. You put that out there. You fed oxygen to this fire that I lit in Alyssa, evidently.
I'm just stepping on all sorts of landmines lately.
John's saying everybody in the chat wants her on. I mean, it's your chat. I mean, yeah.
I mean, John has some questions to answer for.
Maybe Alyssa is Liam.
Oh, wow. That would be something.
We'll never know.
What do you say, Rob? What do you say?
I would say just do it and get it over with, Mike. Just get them on, give them a minute, then kick them off. Because otherwise, Shane's going to keep going on about it. John's going to keep going on about it. The chat's going to keep going on about it.
Yeah, she's hijacked the chat.
All right. Well, you're in charge of the keep that instant remove. You know,
you're my finger hovering
button.
over the button.
Yes.
You might have to email her the link, Mike, because I don't know.
No, I got it. I got it. All right, here we go. I can't believe this is happening. All right, here we go.
Really?
Alyssa McRilla. You have the link.
You got butterflies in your stomach, Mike?
Knots, I'd
Ryan
say.
Johnson says, unmask the catfish.
I think Shane has to turn his camera on for this, though.
Yeah, I don't have a webcam at the terminal I'm at.
That's awfully convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Michael says, let this man color this dong in peace.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm trying to figure out this cod piece, this crotch area. And in front of Shane, who's like famous for his
crotches,
for his jock strap metallic things.
It took me. They took down my Twitter because of it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, my Twitter went down because somebody reported it as I don't know what the actual. It was like it broke their terms of service or something. Like, because it was inappropriate, and it's like, dude, it's a jockstrap. I don't know. Like, I just had to remove the image from my banner, and like my Twitter came back on.
We all wear one. Now, after all of this, maybe Alyssa isn't even going to show up.
Mm.
Can you imagine the letdown? Be worse than that time that Todd McFarlane didn't show up to my stream that time.
Mm. That happens every day, though.
Jasper was in the chat that day saying, I can send him the link if you give it to me. Jasper, I don't think Todd McFarlane's going to actually show up on my stream.
Okay, here we go. There's no image.
Mm-hmm.
Am I adding them? All right.
That's why we sent the link.
And they're gone.
I heard a dude's voice. I'm just saying.
I didn't hear anything.
For a split second, I have headphones in. I heard a dude's voice.
That's it? That was it?
Well, they might just be having technical difficulties. Tune in a second.
Yeah, that was my voice echoing, Ryan. I think you're right.
Oh,
they're back.
All
right, here we go.
All right, we don't need to be bringing that person back on again. Did anyone catch that? Did we just get jinxed with some gypsy curse or something? What was that?
That was a gypsy curse.
Something like that.
Yeah. Arabic.
I just want to point out how quickly the stream has gone downhill since Shane joined.
I had nothing to do with it. I mean, John, let John Malin do.
Yeah, I think that's enough of that.
Yeah.
Aren't you glad you did it now, Mike?
Oh yeah. That was. Thank you everyone for egging me on. It's just so worth it. Can we?
Yeah.
That's it, Alyssa. No more. You can actually block. I think.
Yeah, I kicked her. I don't know if that's block or not.
There was an Arabic curse. Says the Gloomminati.
John, are you happy now? I hope you're happy.
Penis confirmed.
Oh, totally. Not a chick. I mean, at least that's been, certified.
I'm saying it was an answer.
I mean, this is the sort of thing that goes on at this hour, like on the
Terrorism?
Stank stream or stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
You're just gonna get this all.
Oh, I kick them, but I can't block them.
Banned from studio. To ban a guest, you need to require all guests. That's all right. We can do that. I can undo that later. Jeremy.
We don't know, Jeremy.
What did you just walk into, man? Who knows? All right. I think that's good enough for now. Okay. Do some highlights, Rob. What do you reckon?
Mm-hmm.
Slim Wit asks, what is the character that Goliath will be fighting?
He'll probably fight Ghost, so black and greys and silvers.
You're not really helping with that.
Well, I think
So you can
Shane
sort of
needs to
use-
tell us what color he reckons.
It's
He's
sort of
sitting on the
like
fence.
it's sort of like those sort of colors. They capture whatever color the ambient color is around them. You know.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell does this person keep getting back in there? Oh my god! Do not.
If
let
he's
that
black,
happen.
if he's black and gray, then he's just fighting a character with color. Let him in. I need to know the curse.
No, there will be no letting that person in.
Everyone that can't see, this person has no shirt on. They have a face mask and what looks like a t-shirt wrapped around their head.
Yeah. This is
Is it a girl or a guy?
this is a terrorist watch list.
It's
right?
definitely a guy shape.
100% male. And they're gone.
Yeah.
Let's see if I got any emails yelling at me for not letting them in.
It could have been a girl. And there's a reality out there where hot chicks are.
Well, I mean, in 2022. Yeah, I don't want to pass judgment.
I'm sorry, Mel. You can blame me.
Chimera alt, maybe? No, I've never seen that. I've seen Chimera. I know what Chimera looks like. Definitely, this person was like 3 times the size of Chimera.
Mel blocked them.
Well, look, at the very least, the catfish was exposed. So, there's that. In case anyone was interested. I don't think anyone really was, but...
Why don't we have more women in CG?
Do you remember women being super interested in comic books?
Never. Actually, them pursuing female readers kind of destroyed the American comic book industry.
Comic book hut? Maybe.
Could be.
We got cursed.
So,
that's for sure.
If you don't know, Mike, everybody in comics was like, yeah, we're making money, but we're only selling to half the audience because only men are buying our comics right now. What if we made, Wolverine talk about his feelings? What if... I don't know. I mean, that basically was it. And then all of a sudden, Marvel was like, let's do a Mary Jane book. Spider-Man in it, maybe on the cover, but it's about Mary Jane. Nobody wants to read that. Then came SJW, somewhere after that.
Yeah, what time do you reckon? Like, what time frame?
The female reader thing was probably around 2004, 2005, somewhere around there. 2003, they were thinking about it. And that carried into the mid 2000s. And then they still chased female readers, and they wanted both. So they would have Spider-Man books and then Mary Jane books. And then it got really weird. They would do like an Emma Frost from X-Men book, but then they would get a really sexy cover on it. But it was really like cartoony and made for like girls to read about her being in like I don't know, like a private school as a teen girl. So it was very awkward. It's like, why you had Greg Horn covers about a young girl. It was really weird what they were doing. So they were totally trying to sell it to dudes. And looking back, it's like, what the fuck were they thinking? And then I'm trying to think of how this goes in order. Then people started talking about representation at Image Comics. Image Comics would do Image Expo. They'd be like, yeah, look at this. What's wrong with this photo of all these creators at Image Expo? They're all white.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, Rich Johnson started doing like a tracking of what female creators are in comics. And then it became what minority creators are in comics every month. In today's solicitation, he would do a pie chart. And from there, it's a hop, skip, and jump away from meritocracy, I guess.
I posit that putting all the comic book eggs in one basket, meaning like, the getting rid of the newsstand and just going direct market only. Like that, I don't know if it caused it, but it's definitely precipitated a decline with, sort of because it went from, you didn't have to actually sell books, you just had to sell to comic book stores,
Yeah,
that's it. And like competition suffers, and that, then they can get away with that stuff easier because they're not really beholden. Like, look, we're selling so many issues of this, that, and whatever.
So that's kind of right, but it's sort of wrong. So I believe in that theory, but there was this whole cottage industry in comics. I wouldn't call it. It's not cottage. I mean, it is a cottage industry. The American comic book system was kind of propped up on back issues. This is what the trade kind of killed the direct market. So, like, if you read an old comic, like a Spider-Man, you'll get to a panel and it says, hey, editor note, read Amazing Spider-Man, ASM, number 16, whatever, to get the reference. So what is weird that you never really understood or saw is that a comic retailer would order a whole case of a book, shit that they would never sell. And they would put it in the back room and mark it up. So when you were a reader...
Yep, I remember that.
Okay, so that was a whole weird market. Like, so that's why right now, when people are going back and buying, like, back issues, there's so many. If you wonder, like, why are retailers talking about selling so many back issues? It's because there's just an infinite number of them, because they were making so much money, they were buying cases of books that they could sell in the future. Then the trades came around and it kind of shifted the market a little bit. It restructured the format of comics, and now a story couldn't be 2 issues, 1 issues. Every story in American comics overnight had to be 5 to 6 issues. Story arcs for trade collection. So the story structure of every book just couldn't have a 2-issue like Spider-Man fighting Dr. Doom story arc that's just fun for 2 months. You couldn't do shit like that anymore. So then if you think about that, the effects of that kind of makes Spider-Man fighting the Rhino almost impossible, because you would need 6 issues of the Spider-Man and a story that, you know, Rhino talking about his feelings, and make that shit work for 6 issues. So that took a big swipe at comics, in my opinion. But what also happened at that same time was Tokyo Pop was really big in America, and they would imprint, in America at least, a lot of manga. And all these kids and girls were reading manga, and then Tokyo Pop, which everybody thought was this huge, big company, actually turned out they weren't. They were just, they were so broke that they were buying manga and heating them up in a microwave and getting the glue to loosen so they could scan the pages in. I mean, they had no money really. So they went up under, and basically all these girls that were reading manga for free in bookstores, letting the company go completely broke, expected those stories to start happening in Marvel and DC Comics. So we basically inherited a bunch of women into the comic market that complained about the comics we were making. It's really weird.
It sounds very complicated. Like, I sort of understand how it happened over, you know, a kind of a long
well,
period
everything
of
I just said happened over probably about 15 years, though.
Yeah, so it happens over 15 years, so it's not as if, like, you know, someone will be
Well, so
keeping
let
their eye on
me
it
back
the
it up.
entire
So
time.
trades come on the scene, right? So bam, we're in bookstores, we're in Borders and Barnes and Noble, and we're being sold in Amazon. So right now, the comic industry, American comic book industry, DC and Marvel, this is phase. Let's just say this is phase 1. They're making money hand over fist. They're selling in singles, then they're double dipping in trades. So they're selling to potentially new people, or selling the same book all over again to the person who bought the singles, right? You put a little extra content in the back. You know, all the publishers are like, this is the biggest revolution in publishing right now. Like, it's the biggest new trend. It's the biggest new market setting thing. At the same time, there's this little thing called Amazon that is only really selling books at this point in America. They're not really messing around with much else. Like today, you can buy all your groceries and shit through Amazon in America. I don't know.
I remember that. Like, I forget that actually, that it started off as a book shop.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So, so now let's just say this is, we're at, like, if that was phase 1 of this narrative I'm painting, we're at like 1.5. So now we're actually restructuring, like they're saying, the stories to change. Like when I was buying Spider-Man, Eric Larson drew or whatever, there literally is like a 2-issue Doctor Doom fighting comic that's fun. And rarely ever would you get a 5 or 6 issue story arc in these books. Like, I was buying all the Spider-Man books, and most Spider-Man stories were about 3 issues, 2-3 issues, it seemed. And I would get Web of Spider-Man, and Amazing Spider-Man.
What year? What year are you talking here?
This would have been around the McFarlane era in the 90s, I guess. Right. Yeah. So
that's sort of, I started collecting sort of right after McFarlane.
Right. Well, this was before McFarlane. So this was before McFarlane was doing like Spider-Man, his Spider-Man #1. This is when he was just a Spider-Man artist along with Eric Larson and stuff. Yeah. So anyways, so now we're at the point where manga's here, Amazon's a thing, Tokyo Pop's coming in. That Tokyo Pop basically comes in and says, we have the translation rights for all this manga. We're going to bring it into the US. We're going to put it in the bookstores, which is causing kind of the bookstores to invest in American trades even more, because they're making a lot of money on selling to what the bookstores think is just comics. YA is kind of taking off, and at the beginning stages, it ain't like it is now. And funny enough, the YA books in these stores are nowhere near this stuff. Like they're at the other end of the store. They're not in the same section. So literally in the American bookstore, you would see manga to your right, and then if you just look to the left in the same row, there's your American trades. So trying to walk to the American trades, here's a bunch of girls just sitting in the floor reading manga, because a lot of It's still this way, but at the time, like all these bookstores were trying to sell coffee. Like, so, and they were very okay with you hanging out and reading for free. Like, there'd just be chairs for you to sit around and read for free. And I think there still is now at Barnes & Noble. It was a thing. Borders and Barnes & Noble were almost exactly the same store. Like, there was nothing really different. Rob,
did we have Barnes & Noble?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you might. Well, now there's Barnes & Noble and then another bookstore called Books A Million. Books A Million is actually owned by Barnes & Noble. But going back to Barnes & Noble, what was actually different between Barnes & Noble and Borders, I'm wrong. Barnes & Noble was actually in most American malls, whereas Borders was like kind of like more of a brick and mortar type store that was outside on its own, which now, oddly enough, that's Barnes & Noble today. Like, they're really, most malls don't really have a bookstore anymore. So basically, Borders went under. I'm jumping ahead to here, but in the end of this, Borders goes under, Barnes & Noble stays, and then Barnes & Noble goes out of the malls and basically takes the real estate that Borders had, all these brick and mortar stores built across America, and then they build another book company that they own called Books A Million that then go inside of malls. It's really weird. That's just the end result of this, of just the book market and Amazon. But let's go back to 1.5. We're at this phase where the American comic book industry is double dipping on books, right? And people haven't caught up. Like, at this point, the readers don't know, do I quit buying singles or do I just buy trades? Like, it's new, so they're buying both, kind of. And then eventually you're going to start seeing what in the industry that publishers would call trade waiters. That would be people that would be like, I'm going to wait to see it end, and then if people say it's good, I'll just buy the trade.
Yeah.
And so there was a time, there was a lot of money in comics there. The Tokyo Pop thing was a big shock to a lot of people in comics because they were just selling a shit ton of books, but you know, they were only getting a percentage of publishing, you know, like that, because they didn't own anything. They were just renting out these mangas to print. So they were big forever, so much so that Marvel and DC was really envious of their sales. But, you know, again, they had little profits. So when they go up under, like I said, Marvel and DC, they were like, what? Even before they went under, they're like, why aren't we selling to girls? Because girls are reading manga. And I feel there was looking at the timeline, there were decisions made trying to make books appeal to women. And then there was also a lot of failure. But there were also invited just enough people to come in and say, like, why isn't this appealing to me? And people started listening. It just is a downward spiral. And eventually, I think it just fed into SJWs, in my opinion. Because I don't know if, like, without this scenario I just painted, I don't know if there would have ever been a Heather Antos. Like, I don't know if Heather Antos would have wanted to work at Marvel Comics without this scenario I'm painting.
I've got a question for you. How much, if at all, do you think like the Marvel and DC's reliance on like the big characters, like the Supermans, the Flashes, the, you know, so on and so forth, did you think that hurt mainstream comics, like not developing any new type of popular characters?
Yeah, but DC used to be super diverse with this stuff. They used to have a lot of war comics and anthologies that they would come up with like weird characters like Haunted Tank or GI Commando, which was like a robot World War II soldier, or like that. They would have mysteries in space, House of Mystery anthologies where they would develop a library of characters that DC constantly has to run out every now and then. Like, they had a weird character called Space Cabbie. He was like literally a cab driver in space, and I think he had a robot girlfriend. It's like that character fits nowhere in the DC universe, but he exists. And they even used him in, I think, JLA Adventures cartoon recently, which I thought was super strange. And I remember I'd have some assignments in DC people be like, we need to work this space cabbie character into the background of Mysteries in Space. I'm like, who is this? And they're like, it's a character we need to renew to trademark and copyright. Back in the day, DC did not completely depend on those characters. I mean, they, of course, that was their health. You know, that's what helped. That was their bread and butter. But they were always developing new characters. And now, like Jonah Hex is a good example. That the Western character with the scarred face.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Palin. I mean, he was working on that book for a while. People knew it, they liked it, and it stayed in print. It was a cowboy book. I mean, there was never a Superman or Flash. I mean, in that world. I mean, unless they went back in time. You know, I mean, so DC's always been kind of, in my opinion, pretty diverse. I mean, look at characters like Swamp Thing. I mean, they're pretty, you know. So Marvel, you know, is different, but I never thought what you said was true until I went to Europe, and it was a European cartoonist just kind of walked up to me. We were on the tour in Pompeii, of all things, so I'm literally looking at like people that they, you know, unearthed that are like in ash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like fossilized. I think he was fucking with me, but, or maybe you knew him, Rob, one or the other, but he's like, yeah, you ever think like the American comic book industry, you guys rely too much on your superheroes? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you're just not diverse. I mean, if people turn on superheroes one day, you guys have nothing else to sell.
Yeah, I don't even think it's like so much turning on superheroes. It's like, to me, it's like too much reliance on specific ones. Like,
so the problem
what's the last big character Marvel or DC introduced that's popular? I can't think of like anything.
Well, DC, it's a stupid punchline shit, which is I think a measurement of how nobody knows what to do. Like the fact that the character's name is Joker's girlfriend and her name is Punchline is like, this is horrible. You know, like what's the point of this? I don't know. I mean, like the reality is like when you get down to the superheroes, there's only about 10 really cool ones, and then they just become derivative really quick. And you know, I mean, maybe more than 10. I mean, you know, when you look at the Marvel library, but especially working around the DC Comics library, I mean, they only have so many cool superheroes and a lot of lame ones. And, you know, especially when you start looking around at like Justice League Europe and different things, I mean, you would have to write those characters really well. But when you're talking about origin stories or costumes or powers, I mean, it's almost like everything under the sun's been done. It's nothing's really special. I was looking around at Spider-Man the other day, and I'm like, you know, some of his bad guys, like Sandman or Mysterio, just designs, Vultures, like these are really good characters, you know. And it's like, well, why? I was thinking about just Spider-Man specifically. I'm like, it's not like I've seen a really good Spider-Man bad guy lately. I think Carnage might be one of the last ones I've seen.
Yeah,
and
that was 30 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. But again, that's just a knockoff of Venom. I mean, I can't even give it that much credit when I think about it.
Well, as well, look, I think you can make cool new superheroes, but probably not within these existing universes, because there's too much established law, too many rules, too many, like, you can't just bring someone in who's like so cool they could defeat like the guy who's been established as the big bad guy for 60 years. It's lame. Yeah. So you got to kind of make a new thing, a new universe, and then that's the whole, like, people just don't care enough.
I don't know. I'm like I don't know if I'm ever gonna do a straight superhero book. I mean, I'm gonna make books with action or whatever, but I don't know if I mean, I had a superhero design I was thinking about doing as a CG book, I even showed it to Ethan, and then I started drawing a spread, and I just stopped. I was halfway done with a double-page spread with the character. I just put my pencil down. And I'm like, this isn't going to be unique. This isn't going to stand out like in all the comics.
Design-wise, or just like it's just too similar to what's already been done?
No, product-wise.
Okay.
Like just product. It's the same product. And then I started thinking, this is just my philosophy. This isn't anything I would tell anybody to take my advice on. But somebody says, sounds like Shane has that DC mentality. No more straight superheroes. No. I'm. It's not that. It's that I think I'm going. I don't know. I don't think we need another superhero. Like I mean, that's where I'm at. Like I don't. I think we have enough. I don't. If anything, people need to scrub harder on the characters they have and not fuck them up, but actually just try to make better stories and better drawn books. But they're not going to do that because it takes time and money, 2 resources that they're not going to put in on the American comic book industry. But anyways, back to my point on that character and that double-page spread. I just looked at it and I was like, this is it's a different spin on the superhero, and there's a lot of superhero books, and I've worked on superhero books for years, and like I this is my philosophy, but if I go do a superhero book, whatever Marvel, and I have no control over what Marvel and DC are going to do to superheroes. Like if they run superheroes into the ground, they're running my property into the ground with it. So to me, I don't think for what I want out of comics or what I want something that I hopefully can build off of and keep building off of and make evergreen. I don't want to leave the success of that genre up to Marvel and DC. And I know I can't compete with Marvel and DC. Like they have corporate backing, they have pockets to buy shill media, YouTube ads if they want, I mean, I can't, which going to Eric July, I mean, that's to me the amazing success he's getting is like, because he's doing the opposite of what I would do. And he's very successful at it. So that's why I'm saying I don't think there's a right or wrong. It's just my preference. There's going to be a day that I'm afraid superhero stuff will be like Western stuff. Like how Western movies were really big and everybody loved Westerns for the longest time. And now people are like, yeah, I remember my favorite Western. Nobody's really going crazy over a new Western movie. Unless somebody like Quentin Tarantino comes along and does the Django or something. Like it takes like a super genius to come along and make somebody care about a Western movie now.
And that's kind of like a flash in the pan too. I mean, like Django is great, but I mean, who's still talking about it now? It hasn't spurred on the next wave of Western films.
With Ripper, he's reaching a lot of people who've never bought a comic before. So, everyone's aware of superheroes now because of the movies, but there's probably a lot of people who never bought a comic who are getting introduced to it for the first time. So, I see it a lot in CG. We didn't even have really many like straight, capes and cowl superheroes.
Yeah, they were all gay superheroes.
It's
like I got what you said, but never mind.
It's because I think a lot of us are sort of like
are gay.
It's all been done before. We've seen it, but we've read that before, just like what you were saying. But I think for a lot of other people, it's like the first time maybe that they're seeing or like actually reading it in a comic book form.
I haven't watched the new season of Boys, but it scares me how popular people, like how much people are on it right now. Like, because you know, I remember when, because I was working at DC when Paul Levitz kicked that book out of DC because of, like, it was the second or third issue. There was something in it that he just was like, he can have it back. Take this book somewhere else. We don't publish this trash. And so to me, I've always wondered about the boys and watch. You know, Yanzi reads it. You know, she's a big fan of it. I'll watch the first 2 seasons, but what bothers me about the boys' popularity right now, and again, I haven't seen this 3rd season, so maybe it's just really great, you know, but like, would something like the boys being this popular be the death, would be the last cool Western coming around? Like, when a parody of superheroes is this popular, or it's a superhero trend out?
Yeah, because it sort of is a total deconstruction, isn't it? I'm not
Yeah, that's what I'm
familiar with it.
saying. Like, would this be like kind of getting close to that the average dude, you know, on the streets? Like, yeah, I see superheroes on the side of plumber vans up and down the street every day. Like, everybody, like, if you hire a plumber or electrician, everybody's business card has a knockoff Superman on it. It's like, I don't know when this is special anymore.
I really like the first 2 seasons of The Boys, but the 3rd season, it kind of just feels like it's the same thing just over again, but, you know, turned up to 11. I'm just kind of like, it's kind of lost a lot of its excitement for me.
I didn't even get to episode 2.
Dude, I really like the first season. Like, when he's holding his girlfriend's hand and she just gets turned into like blood mush. I mean, that was fantastic. Enjoyed that.
Spoilers.
Mm.
No, I'm not interested in it. It's like, I could sort of see where, I mean, people were saying it's like just a really kind of dark, deconstructed take on superheroes, and I was like, yeah, that's what I got out of it.
Anthony Starr is absolutely killing it as Homelander, though, man. Like, that's got to be one of the best castings for quite a long time. He's just amazing.
And I'm not, before anybody takes what I'm saying out of context, I'm buying more old superhero stuff than I probably have in years, but I went on like a purge. Like, I just wouldn't buy, like, I was like, I can't watch a Batman movie. I can't, you know, play a superhero video game. I can't any of that. You know, I haven't seen the latest Spider-Man movie, none of this.
Did you see the new Batman movie?
No. I mean, I was just out.
Loved it.
I'm like, I gotta scrub myself to superhero stuff, and I'm just now getting into some old Marvel omnibus collections that I really am like in love with, like how good these old comics are. But I mean, I'm not going back for superheroes. I'm going back for just certain quality runs of comics, and I'm not sure if I had been given more options of comics, like in my time. Like, because I was really into Ghost Rider around that era, you know, when they were doing like Rise of the Midnight Suns and stuff.
Yeah, me too. I love that stuff.
I was looking back through that. That's not a superhero book. Like, it's not even really, I guess it would be a kind of, I don't know, superhero horror book, but it's not even really that. Dude, there's some stuff in there. I was like, I can't believe my parents didn't yank this away. I was looking at like a Danny Ketch single issue that Mark Texeira drew, and he was fighting a priest that was actually a vampire pretending to reunite people with their loved ones. So he would take them out to a cemetery and then eat them. And I'm like, what in the hell was I reading? I'm like, this is like,
that stuff was rad. As soon as I got into that, I actually started.
But think about that. That was a Marvel comic, and yeah, Spider-Man would pop by or Hobgoblin, but that was not a superhero book.
No,
I went looking back at it. I'm like, Marvel had a lot of those. I remember buying a
Punisher was a bit like that.
Punisher War Journal, and it was just it was like a gun magazine. Like, that's all it was. It was flipping through it. Here's the grenades. Here's how many ammo clips. It's like, holy shit. I mean, like, they were Marvel was interesting during that time. I mean, think about Hulk back then. I mean, he was just like trashing tanks in the desert and stuff. Like, that was different. That wasn't exactly a superhero book, you know? Like that's what's interesting to me about Marvel is I never felt like that. Like unlike DC, they never committed to the full-on superhero bit. Like a lot of the Spider-Man books I was reading, that guy got his ass kicked every issue. His costume was ripped up like all over. Like you didn't know if he was gonna make it back home to Mary Jane. Is like I remember just thinking like I almost felt bad. I was like, am I just buying this book to watch him get the shit kicked out of him? Like what's wrong with me? Like I'm not a Spider-Man fan. I think I hate this character. It's like who's kicking the shit out of Spider-Man this issue? I mean, he was like Marvel's punching bag there for a while.
Yeah. He's like bury him alive for like a week or something.
Yeah. His wife's at home, teared up, wondering if he's coming home. It's like, what am I reading?
He was always poor too. Like he was always in a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah,
I do.
And he didn't know if he could buy food next issue. It was always like, am I gonna make the bills? Like, is J. Jonah Jameson gonna pay me? Is my wife gonna leave me? Is Aunt May gonna starve to death? What her mortgage? Aunt May was like a bucket of troubles, like everything. It's like Aunt May's medicine, Aunt May's, and the character was living in guilt of Uncle Ben the whole time. So it's like, God, he's like, nothing good happened to Peter Parker. That was the thing. It's like he's getting the shit kicked out of him every day, but he still has a smile. He might not have teeth, but he still has a smile.
This is something I always think about. Mike. Superheroes. Thank you. Like superheroes, like they get super strength. I got the proportional strength of a spider. I can stick to walls. But why does that mean you can like just get pummeled constantly? And you're just super durable.
I always find it that funny when like a super powered person punches a normal person and they go flying like 6 feet and they get up and you're like, that dude's dead, man.
Yeah.
It would have caved his whole chest in. It's like,
I had
crazy.
This idea with I'm never working at DC again, so it doesn't matter. I was really like, look, guys, we need to do a really cool story with Batman and Superman. Just give me one issue of JLA, and I need Batman in a room, like Danger Room from X-Men, and it has to be red sunlight, and he just has to be going hand to hand, toe to toe with Superman, beating the shit out of him. And they're like, why would we do that? And I'm like, because Superman has to know how to fight, because eventually he's coming against some guy from another planet who can fight and has his power. He's going to get his ass kicked. Like, he's going to have to know how to fight. And it's not like Superman can go sparring with Batman or something. He'd blow his head up. Like, he's going to have
to... It's like that moment in Infinity War where the Hulk fights Thanos.
Yeah. Way to go, Mike.
Did I ruin it for you?
Yeah. I didn't see it, but thanks. No, but I mean, it was like, hey, you got to think outside the box here. But in the end, it's like nobody really thinks these things through. It's like, how is Superman punching like Lex Luthor in a power suit, but he's not like a ketchup packet, like coming out of that suit. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, it's like comic book science. And you always can be like, it's a comic book. Cosmic rays. How does that work? His balls built.
Yeah. You can't think about it too closely. Like, well, back to Spider-Man. Like, how does he climb walls through shoes? Like, what's the science on that? He just does. Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
What do you think about the whole time travel, alternate dimensions, multiverse?
That ended it for me.
Yeah,
like that was it. I was like, no, I'm out. I can't deal with it. I hated that. I actually didn't mind that Loki TV show.
What? Actually, I just remembered. Hang on, I'm not trying to get off subject, but you remember when I was saying Marvel was trying to do books that would sell to girls? Okay. Mm-hmm. There was an Aunt May book. I want to say even maybe Mark Millar worked on it, and they pretend it never existed, but it was about Aunt May. as
What did
a
she
teen
do?
girl, and I think they hinted that she got knocked up, and technically
By
she
Ben.
was Peter's mom.
What?
Right.
Oh, because that used to be a thing. Like,
No, but it was aimed at
if you
teenage
weren't
girls
married.
and what if you get pregnant? Like, and people forget Marvel did these things because they were so bad that they just they forget they exist. If anybody knows the name of that book, put it in the chat. But I'm too lazy to Google.
It was called Trouble.
Trouble. Yeah.
He's in trouble.
So
They went on
that's
a
that.
road
Whenever
trip or
that
something?
was, whenever that was, that's around the benchmark time I'm talking about. Now, before that, they had been talking about we're only selling to half the people. It wasn't even like they would say we're only selling to half the people. They're like, we're only making half the money we could be. Why aren't we selling to women? And they literally thought they could just sell a character to two demographics at the same time and there wouldn't be conflict with the fandom.
Well, was there a moment, Shane, like throughout your whole career that, you know, editorial came across to you and said you have to change this, and like, is there a moment that stands out as that is the stupidest fucking decision I've ever heard?
Yeah. And I almost didn't do a book because of it. But I was already into the book, so it was very problematic. It had to do with the cover. Superman Earth 1 Volume 2. Eddie Berganza was very... There were two love interests in that book, Lois Lane and this other girl that Peter lived next door to that was a new character. And Eddie Berganza got time for the cover. And he wanted Superman to have his shirt ripped off, and these women on each side like ripping his shirt off. And I'm like, well, nobody would know it's Superman because there's no S symbol. And he just wouldn't let it go. And then I ended up having to go to lunch, and Bob Harris was there, and Bob Harris is like, hang on, that's a little weird. Like, why would we have a shirtless, you know, Clark Kent on the cover of a book? And it really didn't make sense at all. And I was very kind of upset at this point because the first one had done well, and they just said I was on the second one without ever even giving me paperwork or getting me to agree to it. So it's like the world's like, hey, you're doing this book. And I'm like, well, I didn't say I wanted to do the book. I don't know if this is even really going to pay a decent royalty. But hey, DC Comics, you told the world I'm doing this book. And so I'm just stuck in this shit situation. But believe it or not, Bob Harris seemed to have my back. He could see my face, and that just didn't make sense for a cover, especially with the content in the book exactly. Because you had a cool bad guy like Parasite, and you had things like this. He's fighting this giant purple monster. Why are two women ripping his shirt off? And it got kind of heated. And I ended up sending in Ross. And I think the art director had to get involved. And I remember just calling Eddie Berganza up or in an email or something. I think it was on the phone, though. I wrote an email and then called him. And I'm like, I'm just stomping my foot down here. And I just called him up because I knew he had problems with sexual harassment at work. And I was like, everything you're asking me to do on this cover is starting to make me feel awkward. And he backed the fuck off. And I didn't have to draw the cover. Because he literally... but here's what's funny. At one point in the argument, it's like, wasn't that the advertisement for Smallville? It's Tom Welling with his shirt off with an S drawn on. And they're like, yeah, I guess it's been done before, but let's do it again anyways. And it's like, let's not, you know? He's like, yeah, but maybe women will really like this book. It's like, well, people like the first book. Let's just do what we did over again. You know, let's just... Again, he was trying to use the women excuse, but I mean, Eddie was just a sexual degenerate, period. I mean, from stories I've heard, it wasn't just women. So
crazy.
I mean, yeah. So,
do you think there is a larger number of insane people in comics than real life, or not?
What?
Do you think there's more
Rob
insane people
has this
in
theory
comics?
that like it's comics is uniquely full of crazy people.
Yeah.
I think comics, as far as pop culture goes, which there's too much attention on our pop culture characters right now. I think comics is too vulnerable for infiltration. I
Is
think
that because of the barrier to entry?
no, I think it's
too
just
low?
the pay grade. Like I've known my years in working in comics, I've seen so many good assistant editors leave to go work at like a video game company or a guitar magazine company or any other company. They just don't hang around. Now, from my understanding, in talking to him and being friends with one that quit and ended up just freelancing because his wife did fairly well as a university teacher. If you get to know these people, if you ask around or you meet their, they invite you into their personal life for the most part, like they have a well-to-do spouse and they're just working in comics hoping that they're going to become a full-on editor because it's almost like that the job pays so low that being an assistant editor or something, which keep in mind shit rolls downhill for them. So they probably do 70% of the workload on editing a book. So if most of my emails would always be answered by an assistant editor, even though an editor was CC'd on it. So if the pay grade for assistant editor is so low, then who's taking that job? The guy that maybe wants to move up the ladder and then he doesn't get a promotion, somebody gets it and then he leaves. But eventually what comes in play is somebody with an agenda who's not looking for financial gains or looking for it. I mean, if they're not making money, then it's about personal satisfaction. So then they're coming in with an agenda to put in a book. And that's my theory on that. That led to a lot of crazy weirdos. What the weird people in comics you're talking about that work in comics. And then once you infiltrate the editorial system, then the editors hire the weirdos that believe the same thing they do. You see how this works. So that's my theory and what I've witnessed. I come to terms with. I don't think comics attract weirdos in general. I don't think that's fair to comics. But
just entertainment in general, maybe.
Well, a lot of editors I was working with towards the end, like you could tell they didn't read comics, that they just liked the characters. And it's like, okay, well, if you didn't read comics, but you liked the characters so much and you want to work at Marvel, then how did you find out about these characters? If it wasn't from a comic, they probably got into them through a cartoon, TV show, toy, Band-Aid. Maybe somebody put a Spider-Man Band-Aid on Heather Antos one day and then she wanted to fuck up Marvel Comics. Who the fuck knows?
We've come up on 2 hours, mate. I just got one more question for Shane. Do you know what you're doing after Inglorious Rex, Shane? Have you made a decision yet on which way you go?
So I don't know if anybody cares.
All right.
No, I'm gonna go straight into Inglorious Rex 2, but there's an artist I'm supposed to work with for Starlight Cats for 2023. But first things first is I got to get a draft of Starlight Cats 2 done, and then I'm going straight into Inglorious Rex covers for the second campaign.
D says we do care, Shane.
Shane will travel back to make sure his photo doesn't disappear. I'm not doing that awesome one.
This has been actually surprisingly relaxing.
Good, man.
Just sitting here.
Looks great, dude.
Coloring in. Cheers. I think it's coming together well. I'm starting to sort of think what I might want to do with his color palette, but I think we can leave it for next week. I like this. Let's just it's a good little palette cleanser for me. To just do this for a couple of hours, so it's fun, and then you can just do with it whatever you want.
Favorite stream of the day
or something. Thank you, Micro. Thank you. Yeah.
I could listen to Shane talk about comics for hours. I think it's very interesting. we should talk about it more.
No, it
well,
gets
I
really
can't
boring.
talk about it. Like, I don't have the knowledge that Shane has. Like, Shane actually knows things.
Yeah, but it's not that I know things. It's just I would watch people for years in comics.
Do you stream much with Shelby? Can you imagine Shelby?
That
and
would be
Shane
a
together
great
talking
stream,
comics?
dude. Even just like a one-off.
Yeah,
I'd love to see that.
I will not be streaming for the next 3 days on this channel. The next time you'll see me on a stream is on the video game show on Camel and then Rob's. But I'm putting out daily videos now, so you will see me the whole time. So
I want to do a video where I'm talking through my ass. Like you won't like I'll have pants on, but I won't do the whole video where it's like
like Ace Ventura.
Pants. Yeah, like I think I could pull that off.
I want to see
the whole
that.
shaved anus thing. Like if
you can tell Shane Davis talks out his ass.
I'm gonna do a short video like that.
Yeah, you should do that.
Get it out there. I need a serious topic though. It has to be super serious.
Yeah, play it dead straight. like talk about how inflation can affect business and industry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just play it completely. That would be the best video. All right, look forward to that. Thanks, Shane, for popping on. No thanks to the Islamic gypsy that came in to curse us. You've been blocked everywhere.
One and done.
Interesting. Rob, always a pleasure. I'm really happy with how this is coming out. This is cool. We'll make it very cool. But biggest thank you of all, of course, goes to the wonderful, amazing, incredible, spectacular, and phenomenal Sexiest Chat. I know exactly what video to send us out with because Shane's here. All right, see you guys. Bye.
This country, you gotta make the money first. Then when you get the money, you get the power. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman. That's why you gotta make your own moves.